How's it going, everybody? Last week was a holiday, so I was fairly busy. With that week, we did have a lot of balance talk, which means this week we don't have very much. We do have a lot of data to be shared, new events, and a new roadmap though. So let's go ahead and jump into that. We'll kick it off with the roadmap, which gives us this weekend's event that will start on Saturday, Friday, as well as the weekly arcade quests. They're now putting that on the roadmap so that we know we get them every single week. We also have a ranked challenge coming up next week, as well as an XP fest. I'm pretty excited for that because I can always go for a good level farm. We were also given confirmation that they are aiming for patch 2.03 to be on the 13th. So the patch that we've been waiting for, that they told us it will be in the next patch, it will be in the next patch. We have a date for that and they're aiming for it to be there. It may be delayed on the consoles because certification with Sony and Microsoft can mess up, but the date they want to get it out is the 13th, so we can expect it then. Following that patch, we have Breach Vanquisher, which will be a challenge that earns us 2,000 steel as usual. And then we have something secret on the map, which is just a question mark for us, but it happens on the 20th. If you remember last year, on the 21st, we got the winter event. So I don't know, maybe we're getting a winter event, the same thing as last year that just happens to be one day earlier. I'd bet money on that. That's what's going to happen. As we saw with Halloween this year, we will probably get something that's very similar to last year. So we're going to be getting that epic duel map with the breaking ice. We'll probably be getting the same rewards as last year, but discounted. This will be the first time that we get weapons again. So we'll see if they bring back the old weapons or if old weapons are staying retired and we get new weapons this year, or how this is going to work out. I'm very interested to see what they do with that. We don't have any confirmation at this point because the winter event's not confirmed, but there's that. Then we have the content of this week, which is a new Thorns effect. It is called Grasping Thorns. They shoot out of the ground and wrap around your character. It makes for a pretty neat effect, but I'm personally not going to be picking it up. One thing to keep in mind is that the faction war does end during the winter event, so maybe they'll give us a few days late Christmas present and we get more executions. Maybe that's the New Year's gift that we're going to be getting, something like that. I would expect to see executions as we do every off-season, which would be anywhere from the 28th to the 15th of January-ish, so we can definitely expect them. And as we do, and have been for maybe 2 months now, we have a sale of the week. It is 2 emotes. The Rub Salt in the Wound emote and Down the Hatch emote are both on sale for 7,000 steel instead of 10,000 steel. Damien did make a comment that the Down the Hatch emote shouldn't have been on sale, so it looks like we'll be seeing sales on things that are at least 1 year old, because the Down the Hatch emote isn't quite that old yet. And I think that wraps up everything that we're getting new this week, so there's that. Let's go ahead and jump into the Q&A that they had. The Wulin don't have very many battle outfits, but the rest of the factions do. Are there any plans to remedy this? And the answer to this we actually got a long time ago, is the Wulin will not be playing catch-up. They will never be equals, whatever. They're aware of that some people like the older battle outfits that the Wulin currently don't have access to. They're looking at maybe bringing those in as well, because they won't be doing them moving forward again, as they already exist for everybody else. But there's currently no plans, as their time is better spent making new outfits than bringing old ones onto the Wulin. How about a color swatch for the hair and beard? Damien agrees it's a cool idea, but it does take a substantial amount of tech behind the thing because hair colors have to be baked into the hair. You can't just apply random neon colors to it and then have it look good. So it's something that would take more work than is currently viable for a cosmetic that doesn't affect a ton of heroes. Would it be possible to re-examine which color palettes are available for attackers and defenders? This is something that was answered before that, oh yeah, we're gonna do it, and they didn't really. Their answer again to this was basically the same thing, is they want people to have a clear, defined vision of who's on which team, and having all of them on all things kind of ruins that, but they will be adding more of them in the future. This is less of a question, but more of a statement, and that is being able to invite your friends into current matches if somebody leaves, for example, would be kind of cool. However, Damien's answer to this is that it's a pretty hard no. This system, the way it currently works, is that you are constantly looking for new players as the match host in the lobby. So if you went to go invite your friend, there's a chance that there could be a conflict where your friend would join at the same time as somebody else. The server wouldn't know what to do, and then the whole thing crumbles because you now have 9 players in a match instead of 8. Would it be possible to get an emote wheel, an execution wheel, to include more than just the current 4? The answer to that is they have looked at it in the past, and it doesn't really work, and to add a wheel would be a large new feature that doesn't have a ton of use, so it's a fairly low priority right now. Is there any chance of more perks being added overall? The answer to that is they want to balance the current perks before they go adding more of them, because currently some perks are lackluster, others are stronger, and a decent number of the community doesn't actually care. Can we expect changes to the post-match screen? Sometimes they take too long because of the various rewards that pop up. Damien went on to comment that they've added a whole bunch of other skips, like the faction results and the orders that you get, so it is something that they're willing to do, but they currently don't have a plan for it. They are looking into it though. I have to say personally, I've had some matches where I've completed like 5 orders with champion status and an XP boost on and gotten like 10 levels. That gives you a lot of loot, and you don't even see all of it show up before the next match starts. You're sitting there for over a minute. So being able to skip through all of that would be a huge plus. Is there any chance you could remove the player has left session boxes that pop up and cover up everything? They're very intrusive. And what he has to say about that is that there's been a lot of feedback about that, and they are aware about it, so they are doing something to improve it. Don't know when, don't know what, but they're doing something. And directed directly at Damien and his obsession, we have what do you collect data on? So they've given us a little bit of detail, which is that they collect data on heat maps for where everybody's going on the map, where people are traveling and all of that, where all the fights occur, all of the matches played, where people spend the most time. So if you're playing in arcade, if you're playing in Dominion, if you're playing in duels, that kind of stuff. How often your matchmaking fails, when you get errors, who you're matchmaking against based on your level, your gear, that kind of stuff. The pick rate that you're picking heroes, and the progress of those heroes. And then they, of course, aggregate all of that data as well, in addition to keeping your personal profile. And then they do collect a fair bit more than that, but that's the gist of it, is they collect where people are playing, what people are doing in the game, and how much they're doing it. We shouldn't really be surprised by any of this. I'm actually surprised they're not collecting more data than that, but I'm really glad that they're being transparent with us and telling us what and where they're pulling all of their information on what people are doing and how they should fix the game up for the majority. That about wraps up the Q&A session that we had today. I'm a bit bummed out that there's 2 questions that weren't asked, or rather weren't answered, because I'm sure that they were asked. One of those is spectator mode. We really need it, either just for friends or for tournaments, because they are pushing tournaments now. They're advertising the player run tournaments on the Warriors Den each week, so each weekend we know who's playing what. However, there's no good way to broadcast those. What they have to do is, if it's a brawl tournament, somebody has to go die. If it's a duel tournament, they're playing it in Brawl in a custom match. And then what they're doing is that dead person is the broadcaster. They have to just die, watch the person play with no good interface. You can't see the guard UI. It's just garbage. It's a terrible way to broadcast, and people want this game to be an esport. They want this game to have tournaments. They want a competitive scene, but there's no utility to do it. You have to do a bunch of workarounds, and if you want to do a Dominion tournament, the most popular game mode, you have to have everybody on the team stream in order to get the perspectives, and then whoever's shoutcasting it has to watch 8 different streams. They can't look around the map, and then you have to deal with the stream delays as the shoutcaster as well. It's just a terrible system, and I'm really bummed out that they didn't make any mention of this, because, well, I'm not a personally competitive player in For Honor. I'm pretty trash, but if we did have a spectator mode, who knows, I could do some neat camera tricks. I'd really like to be able to do that. And the other question I really would have liked to have answered is why we can't have balance patches faster than every 3.5 months. We do have mentioned that Shigoki's getting a rework, but who the hell cares, because we've known that since spring 2018. Like, it's already been 8 months, and where's Shigoki's rework? Well, it's coming in season 9, which is like another 2 months, a month. And that's just silly. Those are 2 huge things that should have been brought up. They should have been commented on, because they haven't been in the last 2 weeks either. I know I haven't brought this up on my channel yet because I was really busy with the holidays, but there's that. During all of this discourse they had with us, there was no, oh, we're going to improve the patching process, we're going to improve our turnaround. It was just, we're going to patch Shigoki, and that's it. And that's unacceptable. This game's taking way too long to make changes that even a casual like me, I'm running out of things to do. And I don't play competitively. I don't even play a ton. I play a couple of hours a week. I really enjoy playing, but these changes are just, they're taking too long. So sorry about having a long rant here. I hope you guys don't mind. That does cover the Q&A session though, so we can go ahead and jump back to the general discussion they had at the beginning of the stream. I'm just going to cover a quick few points here because they did talk for about 15 minutes and they said about 5 lines worth of stuff. One is that they're happy with Breach. People are actually playing it. It didn't flop like Tribute. That's a good thing. They're looking at balancing Breach further. They did balance it between the technical test for Breach and launch. However, they will be doing it further as it's still not completely even. They're looking at the competitive aspects of Breach so that it's more competitive, as right now there's not a lot you can do competitively in Breach. They discussed arcade mode. They've heard that some people think arcade is way too hard, the weekly quests, and the biggest issue there is the level 3 bots. That's what they're seeing most people get caught up on, and I kind of agree with that. They need to add like a bot level 2.5, something that will parry some of the time, but won't input read your hidden stance directional changes to parry out a light. They need to be programmed to fail sometimes. We will be seeing the first change in that regard with the patch 2.03 coming soon, so hopefully that does mean that they're programming the bots to fail. I'd like to see that. And along with the weekly arcade quests, they do know that people are upset that there's only one cosmetic reward right now. They will be adding more with the coming season, and they would like further feedback on rewards with arcade as a whole. The XP steal gain, as well as the various cosmetics you can earn from within it, as you can get an ornament, a pattern, a paint color, and I believe that's it. I also wanted to clarify, as there has been some questioning out in the community, the weekly arcade quest, every single week you get 1 guaranteed drop of the red mist effect, and then after that it is an RNG drop for random heroes. The first of the week will always be for the hero you're currently playing, unless if you have it for that hero. Then it will be RNG for a different hero, but you will get the effect for one hero the first completion of the week. They are looking for a way to improve this system, but as of right now, no plans. That should be the end of the Warrior's Den for us. So for those of you who stuck around for this rather lengthy video of mine, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you watching my videos. I hope you have a great day or night or whenever you're watching this. Enjoy yourself, and I will see you on the battlefield.